The first day of autumn, 2016, here in your hometown, you out-of-staters. I'll try and get this to everybody that I'm linked with on Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever else. Just left the library. You saw the water tower. And the cemetery. Now the old black bridge. Some of us, some of you, have different memories of the old black bridge. Probably more exciting memories than do I. I've heard stories. A little creek where back when I was a youngin', Andy Hahn lived here at one time. Looks like they're sprucing it up a bit. Heading out the creek road about 6:15. Here at the intersection of Franklin Street and Straight Route 12. That'd be heading out Route 12 to Fostoria if you were deciding to go that way. Right here at the tracks on State Route 12. One of our coaches and teachers, Dave Suman, lived there when I was in high school. The old Fort Bank building. Mrs. Swickard lived there at one time. Turning now onto Emma Street. Now, I'm not going to hit every street this evening, but I thought I'd give you a clip of the first day of autumn. The old Gordon Lumber Yard. Used to buy earthworms there for fishing from Joe Neitlinger. I don't know if any of you might remember that. Village offices and housing for the EMS and fire department used to be Cron Transportation back in the day. This facility is still functioning. Back in the day, I always heard it referred to as the Kennedy portion of Basic Incorporated, or the lab. Maybe you remember it being called that. HP Eels Park up there, but we're going to go to the North Shore. Turn in on this stone road and check out the North Shore. Now, I've more recently been calling this the North Shore of HP Eels Park, or the Quarry, Bettsville Park. Let's check things out. Looks like a couple of fishermen, fisherwomen, maybe people canoeing or such. I've seen them do it all. I won't necessarily put your face on this little video I'm making for some friends out of state that haven't been back here for a couple of years or more. I told them the first day of autumn I'd make a little clip. Yeah, it's I can tell it's down there. Earlier in the summer with all that rain from the spring and that, it was up there, but now it's, yeah. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it'd be awesome to get this place running again.
Yeah, Oh, that'd be awesome. You could do things out here year round. Especially with that little bar and grill with a big old deck, and in the winter, maybe at the shallow end, ice freezes hard, you could have ice skating, and all kinds of stuff.
something out like that, they can turn around and rent some kayaks out for people.
Exactly. Yep. Well, I'm hoping that that might come together, or some of those ideas. I saw something online the other day about a zip line, more, not a straight zip line, it was like a roller coaster zip line, and man, was that awesome. You know, I kind of thought about that edge over there, or that side of the quarry over there on the right through the woods. I mean, that thing went down and up and sideways, and oh man, that'd be awesome.
It'd be awesome to put one that went like from pretty much the narrow point to narrow point.
Yeah.
Right across.
Yeah, it would.
That'd be something pretty cool.
Yeah. And give...
That's a good time down there. I like going on the river a lot.
some rings in the water from a big old fish that just jumped out. This fella I'm chatting with, I'm thinking he wants to swim out there and grab that thing. That looked, or I didn't see the fish, but the rings were sure big.
Oh yeah. There's some, seen one earlier today, about 3 foot.
Is that right?
Big carp.
Yeah. I remember those big carp when I lifeguarded out here as a teenager. As you can see, not many, actually very few, if any, leaves changing yet. Here on what, the 23rd of September, first day of August, or first day of autumn. We'll head out here. Now I make myself a note to come out here, and what my dad used to say, I'd come back out here in a couple, 3 weeks and catch these leaves again and see if 3-4 weeks or whatever it takes. Now, soybean fields up and around Ohio, or this part of northwest Ohio, turning that real pretty green and gold. Yeah, they are. Now I know a couple of you that are far from Bettsville who grew up here may not see much soybean field, and maybe not too much corn. I'm gonna get back over here to the H.P. Eels Park. For the most part, it's open to picnicking and driving through, walking, all that type of thing. So it's easy to take a tour. H.P. Eels Park. Been a while since you've seen this, huh? Now, as you probably remember from this past summer, any posts, these last 2 seasons we've not been open for swimming just due to lack of funding. Picnicking and such has been available, walking, folks playing some ball and such, but you'll notice that things are not kept up as they used to be. But village council's working on some things, some individuals are working on things, some groups are working on things, so we're hoping to turn a lot of this around for the village, for the area, and for you when you come back to visit. H.P. Eels Park. Hoping you have half as fond memories as I do of swimming here, working here as a lifeguard, and just having all kinds of fun. And like I say, you'll see that it's not quite as trim and kept up, but that won't take much effort when we get some funding and some things in order. And there's the office and the concession stand. You may have not seen it painted up like that. And there's your H.P. Eels Park. Now you might have mentioned me, or you might remember me saying this was open for walking and such. A lot of folks out here walk dogs morning, noon, and evening. I've seen them, and there's a gal up here doing that. Hi there. one of, if not the first shelter house. And that new plaything there beside it. I bet you remember that. Hasn't changed a whole lot. New roof on it a couple of seasons back. Big old parking lot. Another shelter house out there. The second one I think that was built was up ahead, that orange one. So yeah, give yourself a little stroll through H.P. Eels Park on the first day of autumn, 2016. Almost like being here, huh? Like many of fellas back in the day, played Little League baseball there. And then high school baseball over here. You bet. A lot of fun. There you go, a little tour down memory lane. H.P. Eels Park and a little bit of Bettsville on the first day of autumn 2016. Back in the village offices again. The former Joe Neitlinger back in the 60s, 70s, where we used to get our worms for fishing. The Bramel family lived there when I was a boy. A lot of fun there, playing ball and such. Glenna Goodman family, Gene and Glenna Goodman, Brad, Becky. Some of you will, some of you won't remember the names of people that lived in these homes back in the late 60s, as I remember, and 70s. Shrivers. Katie Mason lived there. Lula Custer's former home. Trying to remember who lived there when I was a kid. Oh, we had a school principal with a couple of daughters lived there, as I remember. And then there's the former Bettsville School. Used to be, if you're old enough to remember, the 3-story grade school there. And then added on the high school. Now the former decades gone grade school is gone. Is a nice parking lot. And the former Bettsville school system has been gobbled up by Old Fort school systems. This is where the elementary and maybe junior high students go. And the high school students go to the Old Fort location. And my homestead. My brothers and me, my sister, the Poe family homestead. Used to be Bluey's Orchard or Blue's Orchard. Home built there now. The Lang family. The Garn daughters and son, Steve. As I was growing up, that's who lived there. The Goodmans. Some of these houses are going to be new to you. At the corner of James and Monroe, if those streets ring a bell. And many of these homes were not here when I was a boy, on Monroe Street. Now the ones further up have been here, but some of these new ones, I don't even know who lives in these nowadays. What used to be Blue's Orchard, somewhat catty-corner from the Poe homestead when I was a boy, was just an orchard filled with trees and such. Well, Scott and Teresa Harrison bought the property some years ago, thinned it out, straightened it up, and put in a beautiful log home. School right over that way. Nice Wonders lived there. Channels, Steve and Mark Channels grew up there. And again, across the street, beautiful log home, built and nicely maintained by Scott and Teresa Harrison. Patty Fuller lived up this way. Don Devanna grew up there as a boy. Wayne Edgerton. Wayne, I'm going to send this to you. Wayne Edgerton's childhood home. Wayne and Paula. Now, I know I didn't get all of the streets of this thriving metropolis in this go-round, but stay tuned, we'll send more. See ya!